So I am clearly back from Colombia because I'm on the right side of the damn road, and I am super pumped for what is happening this morning. And there's a bit of a story to it. So on my drive to where I'm going, I will tell you said story. Goddamn music. So we all know Mini's Paint and Panels that my mate Anthony owns and runs close to my house. Panel shop, obviously. Did some stuff on the van, did some stuff on the EVO, painted the Safiro for me, etc, etc. There's been plenty of videos done there. Went to pay a visit after I came back from overseas, and there is an EVO there getting some side impact damage fixed. And to fix that side impact damage, the owner had a spare empty shell. Now 90% of EVO shell, it's exactly the same as the Aussie front wheel drive Lancers. I don't know if the floor pan's different. It could be just because you know, all wheel drive, front wheel drive. There's a few minor differences, but mostly they're pretty much the same. Now when I pulled up, I wanted to see this EVO. The shell was there, and I just assumed it was an Aussie Lancer. It had clear tail lights on it, hitting the back, right hand rear and the quarter. Didn't really think much of it until I walked over to have a look at the shell, and I noticed the CP9A written on the windscreen, which refers to an EVO. That's the start of a VIN. And turns out it's an EVO shell. Then I looked a bit closer and realized it has the holes for the flares on the quarter and stuff like that. So genuine EVO shell, smashed, empty shell. But I did notice it has carpet in it. Now, if you watch the EVO videos, you'll know I've been looking for genuine carpet forever. Now, I didn't want to pull the trigger on some Aussie front wheel drive Lancer carpet because I didn't want to buy it and then it doesn't fit because the floor's different, you know, transfer cases, rear diffs, whatever, who knows. I did try some aftermarket carpet. It was absolute junk. It literally went straight in the bin. Put the standard carpet back in it with the hole in the floor. So I have hit the absolute jackpot by coming at the right time when the shell is there and it has carpet in it. And you'll see soon when I'm there, it is absolutely filthy, but no holes, and I reckon I can bring it back to life. And the best thing is, we spoke to the owner, David, thank you so much. He said, just take it, whatever you want out of the shell. It's going in the bin anyway. Take whatever you want out of it. So I'm going this morning before anything happens to this carpet. I'm so worried because this is such luck that this is happening that I don't want to risk, you know, because this shell's just on the side of the road. You know, kids come along, set it on fire, who knows, rip the carpet up with a knife, who knows. I'm just worried that something's going to happen to this carpet, so I need to go get it as soon as possible and see what else I can get out of it. So here we are, my absolute lifesaver of a car. Can you believe this is an actual EVO? I thought this was just a shitty Lancer when I pulled up until I saw this. CP9A, and then I noticed this, the flares. Could not believe my luck. So if you remember, my carpet has a massive hole here down the side, and I'm 99% sure my parcel shelf has the wrong speakers in it, so I'm going to take the parcel shelf, and there's a couple of little clips and shit that I'm going to take as well. So David, you are an absolute lifesaver. I'm so pumped on this. As you can see, hit in the arse, AYC pump and stuff like that, shitty tail lights, but it's an EVO. Going by this, I'm going to say it was maybe imported as a wreck. Still has the Japanese Rego sticker on it. And another one over here. If anyone knows what any of that means. And another thing I just thought of, this has the toolkit, as well as the factory jack, which is buried in water, but hopefully I can bring that back to life because my car only has a spare, no jack and no tools. So I've literally hit the jackpot here. There's a lot of animal shit, a lot of nuts and bolts, but there's not much holding this in. Only that footrest at the front I've got to pull out, and this whole carpet will come out as one piece. And this seat clip. Even these clips are missing out of mine. I just put generic ones that don't fit properly, so absolute score. Oh, and before I lose one. One speaker grill. Two speaker grills. Woo. Even has this underneath, which I'm pretty sure mine doesn't. Pumped on these. Actually, I can't remember if mine has these or not. Now, unfortunately, one of the things I really wanted the most, to be honest, the factory jack, I think it's too far gone. If you can see, it's been sitting in water for a very, very long time. I'm still going to try and get it out and see how bad it is, but my hopes are not high. I think that might be too far gone, but I'm going to take it anyway. Now, I'm not sure if these are factory speakers or not, but I'm going to take them anyway and have a look, because I haven't had my parcel shelf off, so I'm not sure what it has in it. Yes, Mitsubishi logo and Mitsubishi part number, staying with MR, so these are factory rear speakers. Now, I'm sure I've mentioned it in previous videos how my A-pillar trim always pops off at the top here because of this clip being broken in half on my car, and this had a nice unsplit one there, so another score. This, the car that keeps on giving. And in case you're wondering, we are on TikTok now, so I will link my TikTok in the description of this video if you want to follow little videos that probably come out sooner than the actual videos on YouTube. Another thing I would love, absolutely love to get out of this car is a few of these suspension arms, because a lot of the arms in my car have stuffed bushes, and there's nothing worse than pulling a car apart that is perfectly drivable. So I'd love to have another set of arms that I can just re-bush, re-ball joint, and then swap them over. But I'm not going to take these out because, well, I don't have permission, so I'm not going to touch them at the moment, and I'll ask the owner if I can come grab those as well. It still has a rear subframe in it, and I would love this piece as well, as mine's a bit shitty. So we'll see what we can con into the owner letting me take. So today's roadside wrecker haul has netted me toolkit, factory speakers for parcel shelf, a few little clips and screws, factory jack, good carpet, boot carpet, and parcel shelf with factory speaker grills, and all clips etc. intact. I'm bloody pumped, to say the least. Again, I have to say massive thank you to David for letting me take this stuff. This is also here that might interest the VN guys. Factory V8 yellow. I think the car's factory white. It's been painted yellow, but look what's under the bonnet, or lack of bonnet. Wowee. Should be a very quick car. Alright, so after blowing this carpet off, all the rat and mouse shit out of here, it's actually not as good as I thought it was. There's a bit of a shitty patch here and here. And also here on the passenger side, but I'm thinking I can either use sections of my old carpet to patch little bits, which you will hardly tell, or because this is already split from factory, whether I do a cut here under the seat, which you will never ever see, and just use this bit because my carpet is good except for this corner right here. So let me know down in the comments what you would do. But boot carpet, amazing, even just after some air, and I'm still gonna wet vac this thing. So what I think I've decided to do is I'm gonna cut the carpet just behind where the back seat is. So the pillar, B pillar, is sort of here. So if I do a cut here, the pillar covers it, the seat covers it, and you will never see this one join, and then this is all one piece here. So I just had a quick look at my carpet, and yeah, this sort of here and here isn't going to cut it, even here. So I'm going to gurney this section, see how it comes up, go over it with the wet vac, and see what we can do from there. This is proving really hard on the ground here with something so big, so I'm just going to cut it. I've cleaned most of here. It's coming up really good, apart from all this little shit stuck everywhere, so I'm just going to have to sit here and pick at it and just go from there. So I'm going to make a slice down here, a bit extra, which is sort of behind the front seat, and if I need to cut it shorter, I've got a bit of leeway there. So here goes. Alright, no turning back now, that's it. So it's either going in the bin or it's getting used. And everyone always loves to see this. Oh my god. Look at that. Surprisingly, the thing I'm probably most pumped on is the factory toolkit. I'm so happy the car had this. I'm going to give this a clean. I'm hoping there's still some Mitsubishi part numbers on this somewhere. It is so filthy. Look, there's even mouse shit. And look at that. So we're going to give it a really good clean. So Mitsubishi part number and embossed logo. So happy with that. God, I'm so happy with this. I wish the standard jack that goes here was in better condition, but the fact that it was sitting in water for God knows how long, I think this is just a bit too far gone. I'll keep it for the time being, and in the comments, is there any suggestions on whether this can be brought back to life and how? Or do I just go wreckers and get a generic jack that's the same size and jam it in there? How far do we go with the genuine Mitsubishi stuff? Let me know in the comments. So this is the boot carpet that I just pulled out of the car, and this is the one that I got from the wreck. And you may be thinking, why the hell would you even bother changing this? It's exactly the same. But the biggest difference is, well, the color on this is better, for starters. But the biggest difference is underneath. So while this has all gone really thin and absolute rat shit, this is all intact. So something that you're never going to see or notice, but why not change it if you can? See, how good is that? It looks exactly the same. Nah, but it's all in here at the end of the day. I know it's better than what was in there, so that's what I'm doing. Now if you remember this one little A-pillar clip that I pulled off, this is why. So this pops in, but when you're driving, you'll see it just pop back out because the clip behind here is broken and we can now replace it. This one here. So as you can see, one side has broken off. Therefore, when this clips into the back of it, it just pops straight back out. And there we go, popped back in. And again, I will say, as I always say, it's all these tiny little things that turn a nice car into a really nice car. So make the effort when you're doing your car. So at first, yesterday, I grabbed this parcel shelf just on chance that, from memory, mine had just speakers and not the standard speaker grills, and I assumed they were cut out. Now that I'm home, turns out it does have the standard speaker grills in it and a decent parcel shelf. But one thing I noticed is it has some extra holes. 1, 2, and 3 here, which aren't in this one. This one only has 1, 2. Now, I'm 99% sure they will be for child restraints, for compliance. I am never, ever in a million years gonna have a baby seat in the back of this car, so I think I'm gonna put the other parcel shelf in without the extra 3 holes. So here with them next to each other, you can see the difference. 2 factory holes, 3 added holes for what I think is child restraints. And these speaker grills are actually in really, really good condition too, so these will go back in as well. And it does have aftermarket speakers in it. I'm definitely putting the, as long as they work, I'm going to put the standard speakers back in that I got out of the other car. Alright, scrap that idea. I've just noticed that I remember when I got this car, it had a sub and amp and all this stuff, so it's got all this aftermarket wiring run to the speakers. So I don't know what's been chopped. These are different. These won't plug into the... Lucky I cut this section of loom out actually, so that if I ever want to put these back in, I can wire them back in. But they're not going to work with this stuff, and I don't want to start cutting, soldering when it's got aftermarket wiring, so I'll just keep these speakers on the side. I have them, they can just sit in the cupboard. Maybe one day I'll finally find a standard head unit and then I'll put it all in, but I have them, I own them, so I can do a nice cleanup behind here. This is very, very dirty, and we'll put the new parcel shelf in. So I gave up here a really, really good clean. As expected, it's really, really nice up here, because how the hell would you damage parcel shelves? Now I know a few people are going to say in the comments, why would you get rid of the parcel shelf with the child restraint holes in it? Doesn't that make it uncomplianced? The child restraints are still there, just the holes are not in the parcel shelf. So as you can see, there's one there that's riveted in, there's one there in the middle, and there's one there in that back corner just before people start complaining in the comments. So I wet vacked this one. It is absolutely mint. Had it sitting out here in the sun for a while to dry. Now we can put it all back together. Everything back in. So parcel shelf with no extra holes and in a bit better condition. The material's a bit better. And my one had like a lump here where it sat really high up against the window, which this one doesn't have. So win-win all around. Another thing here I grabbed just off chance, hoping it might be better than mine, is this little cover that goes in the boot that covers the reservoir for the AYC pump. So this is the one that was on it. As you can see, bent, deformed, top and bottom. It doesn't matter how you bend it, it doesn't go back to shape. And this one is perfectly flat, just very, very dirty. So clean this up and pop it in. And there we go, nice and clean. Beautiful. Alright guys, that is going to be the end of this video. I did just do another parts run. There's some more cool EVO stuff, but I will show that on next week's video because it's just getting too late to edit this for this week's video. But just to finish off, let me know in the comments if you're going to Motor X this weekend, Oof. What car you're bringing, and then on Sunday is Sakura picnic for the JDM guys. Are you going, and what car are you taking? Get some discussions of all these cars that will be going to the meets this week and help me decide which one or if I'm going to both. See you guys next week.